It's Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Welcome to the Blessors of Israel Podcast. I'm Matthew Dodd, Executive Director of Blessors of Israel. This last Sunday, February 11th, was a significant day for Iran. First, the day marked the 45th anniversary of Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. The Associated Press reported that thousands of Iranians took to the streets that were decorated with Iranian flags, balloons, and banners. Iranians also chanted familiar slogans that have been frequently recited since the regime took control in 1979. What were those slogans? Death to America and death to Israel. By the way, as those traditional slogans were being shouted, U.S. and Israeli flags were also being burned. The celebration intensified as the crowd watched a paratrooper jump from a plane while displaying a Palestinian flag. Now, many high-ranking Iranian officials joined the celebration in Tehran, including Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. During his speech, which was broadcasted to the nation via Iranian state television, the president called upon the United Nations to, and I quote, expel the Zionist regime and to stop Israel's bombing of Gaza. Later that same day, the former head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, Ali Akbar Shalihi, was interviewed by Iranian state television and said, I quote, "We have all the pieces of nuclear science and technology. Let me give an example. What does a car need? It needs a chassis. It needs an engine. It needs a steering wheel. It needs a gearbox. Have you made a gearbox? I say yes." By the way, Shalihi's comments on Sunday served to reinforce what he said the day before when he boasted, and I quote, "We have it in our hands." Shalihi's comments prompted a warning today from Rafael Mariano Grossi. He's the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency. While speaking at the World Government Summit in Dubai, Grossi sounded the alarm regarding Shalihi's comments and Iran's lack of transparency. Grossi said that Iran, and I quote, is presenting a face which is not entirely transparent when it comes to its nuclear activities. Of course, this increases danger. There's loose talk about nuclear weapons more and more, including in Iran recently. A very high official said, in fact, we have everything. It's disassembled. Now, when it comes to Iran producing weapon-grade uranium, David Albright, a former UN weapons inspector in Iraq, recently said that Iran would only need about a week to produce enough for its first nuclear weapon. It could have enough weapon-grade uranium for 6 weapons in just 1 month. And after 5 months of producing weapon-grade uranium, it could have enough for 12. Albright also warned that, and I quote, Western intelligence agencies may have less than 2 months to respond. Now, why should this matter to citizens of the United States, Israel, and their Western allies? Because Iran is not only the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, let's be honest, it's also committed to the destruction of the U.S. and Israel. You see, Sunday's banners, slogans, and placards, they say it all. And it appears that Israel's war against Hamas has only served to intensify, and it appears expedite, Iran's timeline for attempting to make its death slogans a reality. Remember, on the evening of October 7, 2023, after Hamas terrorists murdered approximately 1,200 Israelis, raped women and teenage girls, beheaded and burned infants alive in front of their parents, and took roughly 240 people hostage, the Iranian regime hosted massive street parties in Tehran, They provided free sweets and lemonade, along with a fireworks display, as the Iranians shouted, "Death to Israel and death to America." Less than a month later, Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, declared, and I quote, "The situation between America and Iran is this. When you chant 'Death to America,' it is not just a slogan, it is a policy. If it were not for America's support, if it were not for the support of the U.S. weapons, the corrupt and artificial Zionist regime, meaning Israel, would have been destroyed in the first week, and it would have collapsed. The Americans are behind this." Question: why are these developments important when it comes to understanding the events of the latter days? Answer: because the prophetic stage is being set for the return of Jesus Christ at the end of the Great Tribulation. Now, one great event that will precede the Great Tribulation is the Battle of Gog and Magog, according to Ezekiel 38 and 39. You see, during the Battle of Gog and Magog, there will be an alliance of nations against Israel. And according to the book of Ezekiel, Persia, which is modern-day Iran, well, it will be part of that alliance that will attack Israel in the latter days. This is according to Ezekiel 38, verse 5, and verse 8. Now, these nations will devise an evil plan, the Bible says. An evil plan against Israel, and with overwhelming force will come like a storm, like a cloud covering the land, according to verses 9 and 10 of Ezekiel 38. But in response to this great opposition, God will come to Israel's rescue and pour out his blazing wrath upon her foes in order to deliver Israel from certain destruction through a series of cataclysmic judgments. Now, this divine deliverance will be in keeping with God's promise to Abram. "I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse." Genesis 12, verse 3. So, it appears that the stage is being set for the events prophesied by the prophet Ezekiel 2,600 years ago. And through it all, God will reveal himself to Israel and the many nations so that they will know that he alone is Lord. Please join me in praying for Israel and for the leaders of these United States. To receive the latest news concerning Israel with biblical commentary, please visit our website at www.blessors.org. That's Blessors with an ORS.org. Please subscribe to our channel on this platform and also like this video. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Getter. We also appreciate your prayers and ongoing financial support as we build this new, important ministry. Thanks again for joining me. Remember, those who bless Israel will be blessed. Shalom, shalom.